Are you a frustrated power caster, tournament caster who wants to cast big baits out for big fish, and the tackle and the rigs that you use today does not work? It's frustrating, it's not built good enough, the things you can get for it. Then follow me. In this video I'll show you a pulley rig with a rod and button system where there's dingle dangle, what you British guys call a dangle, where you can cast really large baits, like a third of, for example, a garfish. You could just power it out with a 200 grams sinker, and it works. So follow me, I'll show what to do. Hello. I will show you how I make my pulley dingle dangle. It is a rig that's very good for smooth hound and rays. I have been fine-tuning it in Fuerteventura, and I've been doing a lot of tests before I went down there. And one thing I found out, if you are a tournament caster and really cast hard and far with big baits, these do not work. The splashdowns, simply this piece of plastic is pushed up, and then it doesn't work. So I came up with a simpler solution. I'll show you what you need. I have a vise here in an eyelet, side cutters, flat nose plier. This one I don't know what it's called in English, so bear with me. Sharp knife to cut the line in 45 degrees, so it's easy to get some rubber beads on it. A cutting board, sinker, and something to tighten up your rig with. You need 2 of these bent rig clip. Notice that this one is bent further in than the other one. It should both look like that. I'll show you how to bend them in. 2 rubber beads, 5 millimeters, a proper pulley, a very strong swivel, just like a normal pulley rig, a solid state ring, and for 8/0 and 10/0 circle hooks, then a 7.5 millimeter would be fine. Then you can go a little further down with the smaller hooks. Then you need some bait stop for your dingle dangle, and this is a Zedra, I think they call it dangle ring, and some dingle dangle braid. Then I have some strong mono. This is 1.4 millimeter and 1.0 millimeter, and then you need some amnesia. This is 15 pounds, so I use that for 25 pounds at Fuerteventura. Maybe I can go a little further up, but this is also as a weak link. First thing we do is squeeze this one in on the bent rig clip. Take a flat nose plier, put it in like this, and take this plier here where there's a lot of force in it, and I just squeeze it in slowly. And it's a good idea to do it this way because you have a lot of force and a lot of control. So, finished. We take 150 centimeters of 1.4 millimeter line. Then we look at the memory in the line. We take the tag ends, then we fold the line round, so we place them in between your forefinger and your thumb in a natural way. So you're gonna have a loop like this big. Now you place the circle hook in here, and then you squeeze down So you have a tackle end, the bow line, and the circle hook in that order. Now you grab with the other hand your long finger and your pointer finger, and you twist the line around the hook. If you need the eye to get bigger, you just split your finger when you twist it. If you feel this one wants to twist between your thumb and forefinger, that's all right. It should do that. So I'll moisten it now with some saliva, and then I start twisting. Take it from behind, from underneath up, and we are aiming at 8, not more. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 turns. If we take more turns, then it's going to be difficult for this line to twist underneath. And get a hold of the coils around, the twists around. And then I just try to twist the line in the right direction. And here it's important to have some saliva on the line and just push it through. And tighten up. It looks like this. Now we moisten it some more. Grab our flat nose plier. Tighten up a bit. Not totally, a bit. Moisten some more. Move the knot up to the hook eye. Tighten it down a little more. And you see the tag end is supposed to get out here, and you have the natural curve of the line here. So everything is as it should be. Now we tighten up massively, and I use the vise to do that. I have the hook eye here. Put some rounds around my hand here and pull. And you should pull until you cannot pull anymore. Then you take the pliers and pull some more until there's nothing moving. The reason why I do that is that so you don't get any movement when you have a fish on. Because movement in a line creates friction, and friction creates heat, and heat destroys the line. So it should look like this when you're finished. So tag on here on the side. Then you can take your side nose pliers and cut it off around, well, 1 to 2 millimeters from the snell knot. This is the best way to make a snell knot due to that both the tag end and the other end is underneath here. Now we need our solid state ring. And this is something that you'll often forget. Put it on the line, so it's here on the outside. And then you take the length of line, the end, put it through here, the eye of the circle hook. Now again, you don't want any twists in the line. So I hold it like this and pull it fast through. So now when you're finished, it should look something like this. And the thing is, that the line should run in line with the circle hook, because the circle hook works like this when it comes out of the throat of the fish and should turn here. The solid state ring, you can see, is more or less the same diameter as the eye of the hook, so that's what you're aiming for. You can go a little down in diameter of the solid state ring if you use smaller hooks. But the only thing to consider here is when it moves around in the corner of the fish's mouth, that it doesn't get too big, so it stops the circle hooks from circling around. Now we're going to connect the thick line with the swivel. I prefer to have a sinker in my hands, and this is just some wire I cut down and twist it so it's easy to get in and out. It's just to hold, or you can also use something like this. The knot I use is a Centauri knot. Move from upside down, take about 10 centimeters through. Hold with your thumb and forefinger. Then I go underneath and around and grab the line. And then I make a coil here and I grab it, my thumb and forefinger. Do the same thing again, around, from underneath, around, grab the tag end, around, shape another hook. You can tie really heavy nylon, heavier than this one. It might take 3 turns around, but this is enough, it is 2. Then you take your tag end, and the same way back through where the line is coming from. And then you take some saliva, and then you tighten down. You might open it up, it looks like this. And we try to tighten it down on the line. I just pull this through. Tighten down on the line. Take the pliers. Tighten a little bit down, so it looks like this. This is to avoid that when you have, for example, the swivel, that the line is getting kinked when you tighten up. So now I just pull it through slowly to here. Then I put it in the vise and tighten it up. And this knot is a super strong one. No kink in the line. That's what we want. So now we take 150 centimeters of 1.0 millimeter line. You use the Centauri knot again. Here, start from up, going down. 10 centimeters of tack. Move my arm over to you. Grab the line and fold it back here. Looks like this. Do the same thing again. Under, over, grab the tack end and fold it back. So I have 2 eyes. Then I want to move through with the tack end and up along itself. this. Then I pull some of the main line through the knot. Moisten it. Tighten a little bit down. Then I move it down to the swivel. All of this to avoid that you get some kink in the line. Moisten it some more and pull tight. You see no kinks in the line. Cut off the tag end. Like this. When you want to put a rubber bead on the line, it is easier if you take a sharp knife and cut the line in 45-degree angle. Like this. Now we put a rubber bead on, moisten it behind the bead and pull all the way down to the swivel. Then we'll take a proper pulley and I put it on this way through. I like to think that this one has more difficulty in grabbing the hook, where this one might be easier. This is just a thing. So this way through. And take the second bead and pull it halfway down the line. Moisten it, it makes it easier for sliding. Now we're going to tie these on. This is a bent rig clip, and it should be tied in this way. Let's see if I can get this one to hold it. So this way. I think I'm going to change it over so you can better see how I make this entire knot from another angle. All right. Here I have my bent rig clip. Put the line in from above and down, about 10 centimeters through. Then I take my hand around the main line, grab the tack, and then I twist, do like this. My hand twists around, form a loop. So the line is behind the main line. And I do it again from beneath, around, grab the tack end, pull it back and twist it so I form a loop behind the main line. Now I'll take the tack end, push it through here the same way as the main line is coming in. Just looking something like this. Now I just pull some of the main line through here so I can easily tighten down the knot. Now I moisten it. Put a little bit tight, not too tight. Then I take the line, pull the main line so I get not down to the bent rig clip as close as you can before you tighten up. And before you tighten up all the way, I suggest you moisten it again. So here, tighten up. If the knot slides, then take an extra loop around. And then we cut off the excess. 30 to 40 centimeters of amnesia. This is the 15-pound line. Yeah, and you tie a centaury knot. Now you're an expert in centaury knots, so now I'll just do it fast. Pull through, make an eyelet, make a second one, and through the same way as it came. There we go. It's an easy knot and a fast knot, and if you use it, for example, on a J hook or something, then if you leave some tack here, then you have something to hold the worm down up over the hook. And now you take the last bent rig clip, and you tie the line, the amnesia, into the eyelet. So, another centaury knot. Tighten it down. Cut off excess. Now, we have this amnesia here. And what you do is make an overhead knot so close there as possible to the bottom bent rig clip. So just an overhead knot. I think some call them granny knots, I don't know. As close as you can. And you do not moisten it, and then you just tighten it down. So when you lose for example, if your sinker gets stuck in some rocks or something like that, then you lose the bent rig clip here and the sinker, and because it's breaking down there at this knot. So the only thing you have to tie in is another bent rig clip that is adjusted here, the hook, and then you're off to go again. So you decide with the overhand knot where it's going to break. Now we're going to make a dingle dangle. It was invented in South Africa. I guess that they have looked about at some of the carp fishers and thought about what to do to make the bait stay in line with the sinker when they're casting. And I know that in England they call it a dangle, this one, but maybe it's a dirty word, the dingle dangle, I don't know. So here I have some cedra dangle braid, or dingle dangle braid, and this is a cedra dangle ring, as they call it. And guess what? We're gonna make a centaury knot again. I put this over in the vise, so I'm sure that it's really tight. Cut off like 2 mils from something like that with side pliers, side cutters, sorry. Then I decide how long my dangle or dingle dangle should be, and I tie overhead knot. So I like it to be this long, approximately. So make an overhead knot. Then I adjust it so I know how long I want to have it. Like this. And I tighten down, and I use the eyelet in the vise to get it really tight. So Yeah. Here I have the knot. I cut off around 4 mils above it. It's gone so I can burn the end. And a tip, if you want to burn something and you don't want to burn the knot, then you take the lighter and from above and down, because heat goes up a lot faster than it goes down. And then I can make through overhand knots or something like that to make it easier for the bait to sit on the dingle dangle. I like to put 2 knots in, and yeah, overhand knots. It looks like this now. And now we're gonna get this here over the hook. I need to open up the braid here beneath the knot. I forgot to tell you, a leather awl will be great for this. It is so I can make a hole in here, and this is going over the hook. Try to find the center of the dingle dangle braid, and I push through. To get a nice eyelet here. So now we take the dingle dangle braid, and then we put it over the hook. And it can be a little difficult sometimes, especially with the barb on it. So just need to assist it as much as you can, and especially with this is an 8/0 mustard demon circle inline circle hook, and especially with a 10/0 and above and bigger, it's really hard. So now it is in place. I like to have some sort of bait stop on. How you do it, I don't care. What I do is I have some of these dings or something like that. Put one in the bottom and one here at the top, depending on how you bait up and so on. So here you have the dingle dangle part of it. So now the rig is finished. Now I'll show you how it works. Now I have hung up the rig. I have the proper puller in the top, bead and the swivels going down. You see the solid state ring is being held in place by the bent rig clip. And then you have the loose bow of line of amnesia down to the bottom bent rig clip. And you see the knot where it's weak in the weak link, weak line. This way, you have behind the sinker, you have the bait. So it doesn't wobble in the air if you bait up aerodynamically. And you can do that because you have this bent here of loose line. And I recommend that you use amnesia because it's the best way to, the best line to use this for rod and bottom. So that's it. When it unclips, you don't have to jerk it when it hits the water. It unclips nicely. But if I didn't bend the hook holders in the bent rig lip more, then it would fail in midair. So it's just like a normal pulley afterwards when you unhook it. I've fine-tuned this rig over a long time. For example, the bent rig clip where I push them in a little more, the hook holders and so on. And it works fantastic. I used it a lot in Fuerteventura, and I lost one of the other rigs. It was a different rig. And there was also another one where I had to discard it due to the teeth from a fish. So it was too damaged. I don't take any chances, I guess. But this one, I haven't lost a single one of them. But I lost, I think it was 7 sinkers in all. So it would have been 6 for this rig. So yeah, it worked, and you can still pull quite a lot of force with it. And if it's not strong enough, then you can go up in strength of the amnesia you use for the rotten bottom. So very successful rig, cast really well, a long way and so on. If you build your baits up straight behind the sinker. So yeah, yes, well, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you another time. I hope you found this interesting, and you'll take a look at some other videos. There's a lot of surf casting videos. There's also some fly fishing films and so on. So take a look. And there's also a movie from Fuerteventura where we are away for a week, Pia and I. So take a look, enjoy.